mean, look around. Look at your life. Is there people coming and going out of your life? Are you finding it difficult to succeed? Are you feeling empty on the inside? Are you crying yourself to sleep every night? Are you wishing you had more than you have right now? Is the relationships that you have broken? Like, really think about those things. That checklist is what caused me to go into therapy. That checklist is what caused me to say, you know what? I don't want to live like this no more. Hi, y'all. It's your little big sis, CJ Renee, and we're back with another episode, y'all. Y'all, I had the most amazing revelation the other day. So I went to go visit my cousin and we was having some deep conversations, and I feel like the main thing that stepped out of one of our conversations that we had was when we were discussing how to be on the receiving end of life, right? And I feel like that is such a profound thing to say, especially to me, because I'm in my healing season. I am still on this journey. I'm still learning and growing and thriving in everything that I do. So hearing something like that, to be on the receiving end, and it made me think about flowers versus rocks. So let me just give y'all the revelation. So I'm sitting there and I'm looking over at her counter, and she has a bunch of pink flowers that someone just purchased for her, and they were beautiful flowers. Y'all know how I love pink, so it caught my attention and it smelled so earthy. I just kept smelling them. They were beautiful, they were blooming, they were gorgeous. And I thought about how flowers go through trauma too. Just as me and you, flowers go through trauma too. And I said, it's interesting though, because flowers, after they go through their trauma, they don't close up. Some of them do, but they don't stay closed. If you cater to them, you nurture them, and you love on them, and you feed them, and you water them properly, they will bloom. They'll open up. And I'm thinking, like, why is that though? Why do we traumatize flowers? We cut them. We pull them out of their root, right? We change their pots. We change soil. We change their food. What is traumatic for them? A lot of flowers, especially, I don't know about y'all, but I love flowers, but flowers in my house don't live past a day or two. I don't know why. I don't know. I don't know how to keep flowers alive. I never kept flowers alive, but I want to so bad. Somebody help me. Y'all green thumbs out there, help me. But anyway, I've always wondered, like, how is it that when you cater to, nurture, and love on these flowers, they're able to grow? Not only that, but they're able to bloom if they were not in blooming season already, after the traumatic experience. And the revelation I got from it was because they stayed delicate. Because they stayed delicate and open to receive. Mind blown. Open and delicate to receive. It's hard for humans to go through things and not somehow become a harder version of themselves. Y'all see where I'm going with this? I see people go through some of the simplest things sometimes, and they still become hard, right? I'd say on the simpler side, friendship drama, that's definitely simple compared to real life situations. I'm not saying that what you've been through was not rough and tough for you. I'm just saying, for me, that's on the simpler end of things. Like, that is the least of my trauma, okay? Friendship problems. People go through friendship problems and become tough. They can't trust nobody. They don't want to let nobody in. They you know what I mean? All kind of thing. They turn hard and core and harden their core from the outside in. And you expect people to still love on you and care for you and treat you right and think about you and worry about how you feel and be concerned about you and call on you and check in and want to pay for this and want to buy that and want to go here with you, want to go there with you. But you're closed off from receiving love. You're closed off from the delicacy of life. You're hard in every aspect. And it made me think about rocks. Y'all probably like, what is going on, CJ? I'm telling you, this is a revelation God gave me. It made me think about rocks. When you see a rock, I remember being a kid at the lake. My dad used to fish a lot. And I would take a rock and I skip it. Right? Or I'll take a rock and I'll see how far I could throw it into the bushes. Because rocks are hard inside and out. It's very rare to find a valuable rock. And usually the only time that rocks are valuable is for what's inside. Right? That's a whole other revelation, because that made me think about how God sees us. Right? God can see with the value that's inside of the hard rock that we may not be able to see. And that's why God is able to come down in our situation of turmoil when we're stressed and we don't want to deal with nobody else. We don't want to let nobody else in. And he still finds a way to soften our heart because he sees what's on the inside is more valuable than what we've been through. That the person that we're going to end up being in the long run is more valuable than what we face. And so therefore, he takes the rock. He takes it home. He nurtures it, dusts it off, gets the hardness off of it until you see the pure stone, that valuable stone that's going to give life, that's going to be able to feed the children in that area, that's going to be able to bring, finances that were needed, because that rock is now a diamond, it's a stone, it's a ruby, it's a whatever, you know what I'm saying? But that's just a sidebar revelation. That had nothing to do with what I was going with, but people become rocks, right? And when you see a rock, you don't want to necessarily nurture a rock. You don't necessarily want to take home a rock. You don't necessarily want to, small, except for those people who were told they can't have pets as kids. Y'all probably took home a rock, but that's besides the point. But where that rock at today, okay? You ain't had no funeral for that rock. I'm pretty sure you didn't. Why? Because nobody cares about the hard stones. Nobody cares about the rock. That rock ain't doing nothing for me, and I ain't doing nothing for the rock. The rock is just here. It's just collected dirt, hardened, right? And I'm good on it. And I'm thinking about how in life that relates to people who have hardened their hearts. Some of you have hardened your hearts. And you're thinking, this is how I'm going to survive. This is how I'm going to get through life. But in reality, what you're doing is you're making your life more miserable. Because you're so hard in here. You can't even receive when you see, one, that you're doing something wrong to hurt someone else around you. Or two, how you're pushing away love. Or three, how you're causing yourself to be cut off from the world and society because you're so caught up in what you feel. You're so caught up in your pain. Either wanting to avoid it or just mismanaging yourself altogether. People, this is 31 and Thriving. I will not be a person who stands firmly on healing and thriving if I was remiss to say, y'all have to be able to identify when you're off. I mean, look around. Look at your life. Is there people coming and going out of your life? Are you finding it difficult to succeed? Are you feeling empty on the inside? Are you crying yourself to sleep every night? Are you wishing you had more than you have right now? Is the relationships that you have broken? Like, really think about those things. That checklist is what caused me to go into therapy. That checklist is what caused me to say, you know what? I don't want to live like this no more. I want to be the best version of me. And if that being the best version of me means confronting these demons, well, guess what? Lock me in a cage because we're getting in. We're going in for it. I don't play about my healing. And I think you shouldn't play about yours either. And that is the revelation God gave me about the flower and the rock. Y'all, it's y'all little big sis, CJ Renee, and I hope y'all are well. I love you guys. Be blessed. Bye. Episode of 31 and Thriving. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to share. It's y'all little big sis, CJ Renee.